Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting episode of Kids on Brooms. Right here, Proficiency Bonus. I'm your narrator, Professor Fern Spindlewheel. And we're so glad that you'll join us for another exciting tale. Our group of students and faculty have captured Isidore Widows in the exploding crabapple grove of the mysterious swamp forest outside of campus. A lot of things have happened. A lot of things have transpired. Simon Kettles is happily walking himself back to the school to admit everything that he was involved with. Some of us look hurt and dirty and damaged and beat and stunned, but victorious. What would you guys like to do at this point as you're standing all in front of Isidore Widows, who's currently being held by a hold person spell by Professor Inkwood?
I'm just gonna find a stool, like a stump to sit on, and just gonna sit down for a second.
You sit down and like clumps of dirt fall off of your like shoulders and out from your hair and stuff. Yeah.
like a dog.
Yeah.
I'm just going to quickly sort of mop up, make sure the rest of those Hydra tentacle monsters are not getting back up anytime soon. Maybe sort of like drag them all into one of the craters and then just like huck a few exploding crab apples down there.
Okay.
Yeah. Give him the old 2319 treatment. Make sure they're not coming back. Explosions
happen. Halifax is just standing there as it happens, and like these plant snake guts get flung up onto you.
My mustache like ripples in the explosion.
Yeah, there you go. It seems like the one that you were riding on the back of is completely disintegrated. It got blasted into a thousand pieces everywhere, as these snake creatures seem to be dealt with.
Professor, there was a red cap over there somewhere too, laying down.
No, I don't think we need to blow him up. He's probably fine to just go off on his...
Yeah.
As you guys look over there, you see a red cap climbing out of a pit in the ground. And like, okay, I'm okay, and then just start like wobbling back and forth.
That's almost sad.
Dragging this long red cap back into the forest.
Oh, buddy. You really did a number on him, huh, Jasper?
It scared me. It snarled me. So I punched it.
Valid.
Just learn. That's a lesson that you just don't scare me.
So how much did everybody hear with Kettles?
I'm gonna be honest, my ears are still kind of ringing, so...
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure who Kettles is.
The dumbass
Simon,
that just walked...
student. You've had him in class.
Oh, is he like a real piece of crap?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
right, yeah, okay, I know who that is now. Yeah. Now, I didn't hear anything, I was fighting a snake monster.
Yeah, you were all kind of busy while I was doing the hard work, you know. Okay, so apparently he was trying to get like these students to like resurface the fifth house. And they were going to use like this amulet in the box to pretend to be Professor Halifax to get him fired. So, you know, he could have his job back or something.
That's just sad.
Yeah, he's
Well, I
really
like
dumb.
my job. I want to
Well,
get fired.
No, I'm not saying you're sad, Halifax. I'm saying he's sad.
I
Your
know.
job is fine.
Alright, I've lost the thread of this conversation. I'm just gonna... I'll be over here whenever we're ready to go back.
It's okay, Halifax. He's gonna go confess everything, so your job's totally safe.
Oh, great.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Oh, I cast shit on myself.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I love how the Tuesdays were like, we're not even phased anymore.
Yeah,
This happens all the time.
I would like to turn to my familiar who is a Hydra Puck, and just sort of look at him. Could you fly back to the castle and, or it's not a castle, back to the school?
It's
and,
like a tree castle. Yeah, you could
Tree
call it a
castle.
castle. Yeah.
Tree
The most
castle.
epic
Tree
treehouse
house
ever.
castle. Yeah.
Tree castle. Hell yes.
Wait, tree hassle?
Tree
hassle.
Yep.
Tree hassle, yeah.
Would you fly back to the school and inform the headmaster that we'll be back with some guests, and there should be a student delivering himself to her soon.
Now
Thank
you can communicate with your familiar, right? So your familiar
Yes.
can talk back
Yep.
to you, right?
Yep.
Okay. Right away.
Thank you, Puck. And
You're welcome. Does Puck have like? How does Puck get around? Like probably on maybe on a.
I mean,
Puck.
he rides on my shoulder a lot,
Yeah.
or occasionally on my head,
Okay.
depending on what we're doing.
But, like if you send Puck off, what is his way of or her way of getting around?
I hadn't thought of that. I don't
Okay.
know. I kind of imagine him having sort of like sad little wings that
Okay.
like barely kind of keep him up. Like he can go decently quickly,
he's
but like
a
it kind
small-
of looks, yeah.
Little. It's
Well,
like
not
it's like
like
a
super fast.
not like a
but,
hummingbird. Like.
No, but like just kind of like really bad at flying in a straight line. because
Really
he has different-
derpy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he had different numbers of heads at different times, which means like he needs
Yeah,
different
so
amounts of
balanced.
space.
They're
Kind of
fighting
bad.
over control of the two wings.
Yeah.
So it's like one like will flap a little quicker at one point and then go this way, and you see it
Yeah.
like bounce off of a few trees as he makes his way through some of the.
I kind of
some
imagine him like the what is it? The demons in Hercules,
Mhm.
like
Oh.
those two, kind of like one is each head, you know?
Mhm.
And so,
Yeah.
like,
Sure. Yeah. So
yeah.
Puck,
So a little derpy, but he has good speed.
all right. So Puck makes his way after you command this to them. Can Puck communicate with you telepathically?
I believe so. I think that's one of the perks that I have.
I think that's one of your characters.
Two-way psychic communication at
Nice.
any distance.
Okay. That's good to know. What do you guys? Are you guys immediately starting to head back, or are you staying? Are you guys staying put? Anybody doing anything, or are you guys gonna stay put here?
Suppose we should head back. Get
Yeah.
this one moving.
Okay.
I think maybe I should see the nurse, but I also feel fine.
Did you get a concussion?
I don't think so. I've had those playing football. I don't think
Are
that's
you
it. I think
nauseous?
I just kind of blew up.
What day is it? Who's the president?
Oh God. It's the
Yeah, I don't
day
know who-
Friday.
You're right. It is Friday.
Oh, sweet. I just
Because remember,
I
you
mean, I
guys were
didn't-
going on
I
the field
didn't do
trip
that.
on a Friday night.
That's
Well,
right.
he seems exactly the same as he did before to me, so I think he's fine.
Yeah, maybe you should see the nurse.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Okay.
Just in case.
So you
If
guys.
nothing else, she normally has some, fun meds up in there, just see
Oh,
what we can get.
okay.
So you guys begin.
Or I mean,
to-
what?
I like lean over Jess. I'm like, this is why she's my favorite. Or they're the best. Sorry.
Immediately, Inkwood realizes what they just said and starts to walk away. Oh, you okay there, Halifax?
I've funny boned myself.
No.
Oh,
Oh, buddy.
You go to the nurse too?
yeah, I might need to see the nurse as well.
We're all going to the nurse's office.
I fought 3 12-foot snake monsters and I hit my elbow, and now I need to go to the nurse.
Accurate.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Oh,
That's how it works. That's how it
Yep.
works. So you guys make your way, you start trekking back, and eventually you see the derpy flight pattern of Inkwood's familiar coming back as quickly as it can fly. You guys have pretty much reached the edge of the water of the lake that you guys have crossed, but you can see the flight pattern coming back. And you start to hear sounds of panic, and it starts to telepathically communicate with you, Inkwood. That
Trunk Puck.
there's another one that looks like Halifax. It's at the school.
Apparently they had more than one amulet.
He didn't mention that.
He may not have known. Probably did. Then again, why would you trust him with that information?
He's really dumb.
He is. But I suppose we should get back a little bit quicker. And I
Yeah.
sort of look back at
Yeah, I imagine Halifax has been carrying widows, like maybe fireman's carry over
Yeah.
his back. Yeah.
I suppose we should fly. Did anyone else? Brooms? We got that ability?
Yeah. You guys have brooms.
Yay!
Kids on brooms.
Kids on brooms. It's in the title.
I distinctly remember we made a lot of fun of Kettles for wanting to bring his brooms.
Oh yeah, entirely. But that's because we weren't in a hurry, and because it was Kettles.
No.
I don't think you're allowed to say that. You're a teacher.
They can say
You
whatever.
obviously don't know any teachers.
That's what
Not
we
in-
ask ourselves every staff meeting.
Like, not in front of them.
Again, you obviously don't know any teachers. As someone who's grown up with a teacher as a parent. Sometimes it just slips out. Yeah, can we bamf our brooms into existence?
Yeah, they fit in your
I see a brooms.
bags of holding that you guys all carry. You guys have, yeah. So he pulls it out of her bra. Does Halifax like do the? Does he have like a? Did you say he had like a fanny
It's a
pack?
it's a fanny
so-
pack of holding, yeah.
So Halifax.
Also, my broom is just sort of like a log that somebody attached to some bristles to. So mine comes out, it's like onto the ground.
So you
I
guys,
feel like
yeah, go ahead.
Reef has like an over-the-shoulder like messenger bag. It's like leather and sort of very like college professor looking that they've had since they were a student because they were that kind of student.
Got you.
And mine's an all black broom with like a purple band around the base. And it's the Nightwing 9000.
Oh, you have a Nightwing 9000? Oh, wow. What about Jasper?
yeah.
What's Jasper pull out?
He takes off his backpack. He has your typical like high school backpack type thing. Takes it off and pulls out this really run down old looking broom that looks like probably was really cheap.
Got you.
I'll be honest, I'm not super good at the flying on the broom thing. It's also like kind of small for like his stature, so it's a little awkward.
Yeah. And Reef's broom is similarly battered. Looks like it's probably a hand-me-down that at some point people didn't take care of, but it's like you can tell that at this point it's like very well loved and nicely polished and stuff, but there's just some marks that polish can't erase.
Awesome. And actually, Jasper reminds me of like a really big dude driving a Volkswagen, like a little Volkswagen car. You know, it's like you can barely fit inside that thing and just you just cruise along. You guys don't have to make any checks or whatever just to just do standard flight. The only time you really have to do checks with your brooms is if you're kind of like in an intense situation where you have to, maneuver a little bit drastically and things like that. So you guys all board your brooms, say the magic words, and you guys are flying up over the lake and back towards the school. is there anything you guys will be doing on your way? As you can see the treehouse castle in the distance, as you guys are making your way across the lake and a little bit more land to cross over before you get to the school.
Staying low so the vines don't smack us.
There you go. Well, this over the lake is nice and clear and open.
true.
You will have to
True.
dip down a little bit to go through some trees on your way to the school, but shouldn't be a problem with your skill. And you guys you and Halifax have been comfortable riding on your brooms for quite some time and have lots of experience. Yeah.
I've switched from the fireman's carry to like I'm holding him by like the back of his pants.
Okay.
It is just like as I'm on my broom, I've just got him sort of one-handed down here. So I'm just kind of like dangling him below off to the side, and I also am flying low, but specifically for the purpose of like whacking him into things,
Okay.
and like so his like head
Nice.
hits the water a little bit as we go like as we go through.
There's like this cascade of water wake from behind, like a
Nice.
like a speedboat as you're going across.
It doesn't look like I'm aware that I'm doing it, so you can't be sure.
Very nice.
It seems like Jasper is struggling to stay upright on his broom, just because his balance on it is not super good,
Okay.
especially it being smaller than what he probably should have. But so he's kind of like wobbling and catches himself a few times.
Jasper, remind me to buy you a new broom next year.
Oh no, it's fine. It's okay.
All right.
Like broom training wheels, maybe.
I was just gonna say.
It's like two dustpans that you just like put on the side of each.
Turn it into more like a motorcycle almost.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get that for you next semester. Like, hands down. That's what I'm buying you next semester. I'm getting you training wheels.
So good, so good.
Yeah, it's like not the dustpan itself, I guess. Like the little broom that goes in the dustpan. It's just two of those on either side of the regular broom to help keep you steady.
I'm just imagining like a Kerbal space program, but
I totally want to I want to craft this now. Like I want to build it. Like I want to actually get a broom and attach the two little dust brooms on the side of it. That's so good.
I tell you what, you make it if we go to Gen Con the
Yeah.
next time. I will get on it. We can take
Yeah.
a picture.
We're flying around. That's it. Take it for a ride. That's so great. So good. So you guys are heading, and that's when you notice in the distance, back where those mushrooms were asking Jasper for food, floating about 30 feet in the air on a broom, is Professor Halifax.
What's the
And-
broom look like?
Make a brains check.
I'm just wondering if it looks like his broom or if it's
No, sorry, you cut out on me. What was that? For some reason,
a one.
A one. Okay.
It's a one.
It's still it's dark and it's far away. You can't really tell from this distance. Definitely doesn't look like Halifax's because you're seeing Halifax's broom right now, and it's a massive log.
Yeah, that was.
And it doesn't look like it's that big. But it looks like this individual is like casting something towards the mushrooms, and that's when you notice the walls of the school and the ground beginning to crack around where the mushrooms are kind of embedded into the ground in the wall, and then bursting out next to it this massive hand of what seems to be mushroom-like flesh rips out of the ground. And then it's continuously casting. It looks like it's trying to somehow pull this creature out and turn it into something gruesome.
How far away are we?
Probably like 150 feet.
Can I just knock them off their broom by running into them?
Do you want to charge them with your broom and try to just smash into them?
But sort of try to T-bone them. A
Okay.
little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe jousting style,
Yeah.
grab a stick. And...
Inkwood, I think you've been hanging around with Halifax a little bit.
I
too
really
much.
I was just thinking that. I was like, damn, Halifax is rubbing off on Ink.
Thing is, that's one of the things with Ink is when, like, kids are in danger or like they do what needs to be done, even if it requires running into people, which is not what they like to do.
All right, I would like you to go ahead and make a flight check. This is, since it's your broom, it's based on magic, so you can add a d4 and whatever magic stat you have. And if your broom has any benefits, these would also apply.
My benefit is that I, like, am willing to do shit to people.
I got you.
That is me being on my broom is what makes this action possible. That's an 8.
An 8. This individual rolled a 13. So as you charge, the imposter Halifax looks over to you, sees you, breaks the spell just for a moment, and just swiftly goes up in the air very quickly, and you just whiff right underneath.
Is it a meets it beats it kind of situation?
For this, yeah.
Okay. Just think because I have some, but not worth it. We'll use those in a minute.
Anybody else doing anything in split second? You see basically Inkwood take off, like rocket ship broom towards this individual, but the individual seems to notice and dodge out of the way.
I'm gonna try and command them to stop.
Okay. Go ahead and make your charm check.
Dirty 20. I rolled good on the magic die.
I rolled a 19.
Oh,
You just got it. This person just
strong
happens
boy.
to have the D20 in charm.
Ooh!
Okay.
Ooh! But
Got a rivalry here.
I'm trained in charms, so got that.
So just to stop. So you just want this individual to stop?
Mm-hmm. For now.
Okay. So the individual seems to stop moving the wand and is just looking towards Inkwood and the rest of you. And it's just stopped. Halifax or Jasper, anything in the split second you would like to do?
I mean, if they've stopped, I'm just gonna follow, I guess.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, being that I'm already in charge of prisoner transport, I think I'm gonna just, unless I really need to step in, I'm not gonna do anything. I'll just continue to hold on to old Dangly over here.
You guys look down and you notice that grouping of mushrooms that were about 3 or 4 foot tall, all look like they've now like. It's like several heads, but they're mushrooms, and it looks like a body is starting to try to pull itself out from the ground, but only one arm is like out right now, and it's clawing at the ground, like, and all these like heads, like they look different than when you guys saw them before. Like their eyes are completely gloss white over, and it looks like as their mouths are opening, there's just spit and saliva and just nastiness just falling off out of their mouths onto the ground below.
Is this something that I might have some insight into, being that I am ostensibly quite learned in the field of magical botany?
Yeah, it definitely looks like a magically concocted mushroom golem. But it looks like it's unable to kind of get out yet because you guys have stopped the spell. It looks like it's not fully formed and the spell hasn't been completed yet.
Would dispel magic do anything?
It might. Would you like to try?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead and make a... Technically, dispel in this game is still a fight check. So you're going to make a fight check against this creature.
Could I convince you to let me do grit?
Let me.
Because I'm doing it with the intention of protecting others.
Let's see. Types of magic.
Or is there a similar spell that
Well, a dispel is kind of like you're trying to get rid of the magical effect on something. So it's gonna be
yeah, trying to break.
it's gonna be breaking that. So it's still gonna be fight
Okay.
for this.
Oh well. Worth a try.
It was worth a shot.
Oh, okay. So 10 plus 1 plus 2. 13.
The roll is a 17 plus 2. It's a 19.
I can get to an 18, but that's it.
Technically, there's nothing making this a snap decision quite yet because there's not a... So if the members of the group wanted to help with this spell check... Well, actually, no, spell checks don't get... They can only be snap decisions because it's you casting the spell. So
Okay.
it's more the stat checks that people can kind of help you out with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. You're trying to break it. It seems like it has a really... The magic in this creature is really strong hold. And it seems...
Seeing
Okay, go
seeing the professor do that, can I also attempt to do this, the same thing?
ahead. You can,
Trying
but,
to spell it?
but before you get the opportunity
Okay.
to... Ebony just told the individual to stop. So I was assuming to stop kind of casting that spell on that creature. But that
Yeah.
that Halifax-looking creature actually looks towards Ebony and goes to point her wand at Ebony and then fire something towards Ebony. So Ebony, I need you to make a fight check, magic check with this.
I want a shield.
Five.
5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I also rolled a 5.
I have a thing that I think might be applicable here.
Okay.
One of my features is that I do not need DM's permission to use adversity tokens, which maybe means that I can just give Ebony one to make her beat this. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Because you don't need my permission. Who cares? Who cares what I have to say?
As my ability says, you don't need the DM's permission.
great.
I have one of my features is heroic.
Oh,
I can use adversity tokens without the DM's permission.
Okay, so you can spend an adversity token. How are
I
you
will do
making
that.
it? How are you making it so that she doesn't get hit by what looks to be like a small ball of electricity that flew out from the wand?
As it like comes flying in, I just sort of like I'll zoom over as well, and one leg comes up off the broom, and I just sort of like kick her a little bit,
Yeah, you got it.
so that the two of us sort of come together in midair, and then like this, and the electricity ball goes through between the two of us.
Beautiful. Perfect.
I was
Yep.
thinking you were gonna take like the guy and just like use him as a shield.
I was thinking about it.
And at that point, it looks like the imposter Halifax panics and begins to try to start flying off, like to the right, kind of sweeping around the school. What do you guys do?
I want to put him in a bubble.
I'm gonna put him in a
and
bubble.
I want
Okay.
to tell him to stop moving.
Okay, Jasper, anything on your end?
I'm gonna try. Like this thing is still trying to come out of the ground, right? The mushroom
it's
thing.
trying to. It's having a struggle. Yeah.
I'm gonna try and dispel whatever they were doing to it.
Perfect. Okay. Halifax, anything for you after you just saved Ebony from some electrical magical energy?
Quick question: are we resetting those adversity tokens back to like the initial 3?
Yeah, it was.
At
It was
the division here, because I had 4 like at the end of the last one,
No, you'd have 4 then.
so I still have 4. I didn't know
today-
if between episodes.
It's not between episodes; it's between sessions. So
Gotcha.
the way
Alright.
that we're recording.
Okay, so
kind of makes it different.
then I now have 3 because I had 4. Okay.
Perfect.
So Inkwood is bubbling.
Mhm.
Imposter Halifax. Ebony was doing what? Commanding.
Commanding. Stop moving.
Alrighty, then I will. I'll assist with that. With the mushroom, I guess. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see if the dispel works.
Okay.
And if it doesn't, well, it is a golem, right? It's created to be a creature that like serves the will of the person that summons it.
True. Mm-hmm.
If he is incapable of dispelling it for the second time, old Halifax is going to take a whack at finishing the spell and making this my mushroom golem.
Oh, yes. I love it. Excellent. So let's go ahead and see if we can resolve the escaping imposter Halifax. So the command, we'll do command stop and then bubble. I think that would make more sense narratively here. So the command to stop would be based on charm. It's actually a specialty of this individual.
I'm rolling so good today. 26 beach.
Well, that is the D20 stat for this individual, and they only rolled a 7. So
I rolled a natural 18.
you succeed with narrative benefits. Is there anything you'd like to narrate for your spell?
Could I have him? I don't know how this like visage appears, but if it's possible, I want him to stop in like moonlight, because I'm assuming it's still nighttime, right?
Yeah, it is.
I want him to stop in moonlight so I can see if there's any glinting of an amulet on him.
Okay, make a brains check.
Okay. It's not gonna be good,
Brains
guys.
check. You're gonna go ahead and cast your spell for the bubble. What did we use for the bubble last time, Inkwood? Do you remember?
Grit.
Grit. So you're gonna make a grit check. I'm gonna make a grit check. What'd you end up rolling? A 2?
I'm not smart.
You're not 100% certain if you could see it if the individual is transformed.
Yeah, that's what I was
Seems like
curious
some
about.
kind of illusion magic or something that seems to have some kind of a little bit more durability with this amulet, so to speak. So,
well, at least he's in the light where we can see him.
Of course, definitely. What'd you roll, Inkwood?
Got a 13.
I got a 3 plus 1 is a 4. That imposter Halifax is bubbled and motionless.
Nice.
In the glimmer of the moonlight. Jasper, you're trying to dispel this terrible mushroom golem. Go ahead and roll a fight check. This is magic with your D4 against the mushroom golem.
Okay, so that's a 13 without the D4. So 16 total.
Okay, I rolled a 5. So you can describe how the dispelling of this mushroom golem looks and turns out.
Well, I go and cast the spell on it, and it kind of does the like very cartoonish thing where it starts to shrink in specific locations and then eventually just falls back to the ground into its like normal form.
Okay, yeah, so all the mushrooms are just like sitting there and they're all like confused looking at each other. Turning their heads. Halifax, you got to witness, you were holding your spell just in case, and you witnessed this, and then all of a sudden you guys start to see little blue flashes, like, and it looks like a bunch of individuals are teleporting in on the ground below, seemingly out of nowhere, but they're dressed in these really elegant robes. They look very professional. And Inkwood and Halifax probably not as quickly as Inkwood would recognize, but Inkwood, you recognize that this is the Council for Use of Ethical Magic are approaching this area.
Shit.
And it looks like about 6 of them just like pop in. It looks like a rather elderly gentleman is like walking towards, but he's got this really nice posture, and he's walking up towards the golem, and then looks up, or was looking up where the golem was and looking at these mushrooms, looks over towards Halifax, who's sitting there with his, and then looks over and sees Jasper, can see all of you kind of hovering around, and then they all glance up and they see this other Halifax in the moonlight cascading above.
I would like to, using the bubble, bring Imposter Halifax down in the middle of their assemblage.
Okay.
And I'll go, oh, good day. And I'll go to like wave, but I forget that I'm holding widows. So I'm like, good day. And I sort of like flop widows at them in greeting.
It's Widow's flopping around, yeah.
Hi.
The one individual who approaches, and then you can start to see it's an individual named Tom Staghart. He is basically the president of the council, and he's looking around, looks at you, Inkwood. It's like, what is going on here?
I feel like we've met. I feel like we've met in the past.
Yeah, you probably have. Yes.
Not gonna say which side I was on.
Reef, what is happening? We've got word that there's been some strange castings happening around here.
You
my
wouldn't
wand away.
be wrong, sir.
Jasper walks away.
it's-
I put my wand away.
Okay.
I don't, because I'm still holding the don't move spell. I'm just like, oh shit, don't notice me. I'm like holding stock still, like.
It's been an eventful evening.
Who is this? Points to the
Good
domed.
question.
Who's?
It
It looks at it looks at both Halifaxes. It's like, who's? So there's a Halifax in a bubble. There's a Halifax holding. Is that Isidore Widows? Why
Yes,
is he
sir.
soaking wet? What's-
traveling mishaps, sir.
What's
Oh,
wrong?
it's my fault. Sorry.
What's wrong with his face? He's got like grass
He's
and
ugly.
dirt and like bruises and stuff from where you've been dragging him on the hitting him thing. I don't know.
Traveling.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he looked like that when we found him.
What is going on?
Well, oh, where to start? Okay, so, well, there, we were
You're not off to a great start. Ink.
You just have to be careful how you phrase things in front of them, okay?
He was doing bad things. We stopped him from doing bad things.
He was manipulating
He was-
students.
Yes.
Oh, that's awful.
He was trying to bring Villanova back by influencing students and using magical means to get my colleague, Mr. Halifax, fired. We were able to stop one such attempt, but it appears that a second was underway, and I sort of motion to the bubble but don't realize that I'm using my wand, which I've just used to guide it down, and so I kind of like motioned and the bubble kind of like you know and so we, upon finding out that there was a disturbance, made all haste back and ran into this individual who we have yet to identify, impersonating my colleague and trying to cause problems.
I look at Ink, I look down at my bra, I look at Ink and look back at them. I'm like, yeah.
I just very very slightly shake my head.
Well, let's figure out who this individual is. And he gets out a wand. You see him get out a wand, and he's like, "Professor, do you mind dropping
holding him.
your protective dome?"
I'm still
I-
holding him in Ink.
I would like.
I thought he
look
was going to
over
say, "Do you
and-
mind dropping widows?" And when he gets to dropping, I just go like. And when he finished, I'm like, "Oh, sorry. I thought. I thought. Never mind."
You hear.
I look over at Ebony very quickly and just mouth, "Drop it," like just because I don't
like-
want her to get
Because
in trouble.
yeah, all
Um,
6 of these individuals who have approached, all these council members, male and female, just kind of surround around the dome and are just kind of like have their wands out and are just, and you can see the imposter Halifax is looking around kind of as all these people approach.
And
I dropped my
will-
spell at the same time.
And
I dropped the bubble.
immediately that imposter Halifax tries to start to move and panics, but it's like no chance. These high-powered magic users just basically just start casting. One of them basically stops the imposter Halifax in motion, and the other one's like, not so fast. And and Tom, the head of the president, kind of walks closer. It's like, huh. Interesting. Protection against the dispels. It seems like a spell was cast to try to dispel the illusion, and it didn't work. Huh. And he reaches out and he starts, there you are. And kind of it disappears into Halifax's chest, his hand. And then you see him go, like, pull something. And the minute he pulls it, you see there's an amulet kind of come out. And has this black obsidian like gem in the center of a silver chain that's dangling, a silver emblem, a silver pennant. And then at that moment he pulls it away, the illusion fades. And held there is Ellie Woodstock.
That tracks.
But she's looking like she's held, so she can't say anything, but she looks very like her eyes are wide and there's like tears in her eyes. Your insight tells you that she might not have been aware of what she was doing.
That tracks.
Shit, I was supposed to look at her. Oh, damn it, sorry. You asked me to keep an eye on her and I didn't. I was kind of busy.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry.
Oh, Ellie.
Huh. Well, if you don't mind, I think we'll have to take this one in for some questioning. And that one, and points down to widows. I think there's things going on here that we don't know much about. And if it's true what you say, then that one may be spending some time in the Silent Gallows. Which Inkwood and Halifax, you would know, is basically magical prison.
Yes, sir.
One of the women who is aboard is named Jackinth Rubble. Her name, as she approaches, kind of like a middle-aged woman, hair pulled tight into a ponytail, walks up to you, Inkwood, and says, "I'm glad that you were all there to stop this from happening. You do a great job for these students. Both of you." Looks over to Halifax.
I try.
Weeping Terrace is lucky to have both of you.
Yes, ma'am.
She looks over at Halifax.
Thank you.
You've been keeping your experiments under control, right, Professor?
Yep.
Good. We'll be checking in on time to time.
It's fine.
She looks over at Ebony and Jasper. Looks at Jasper. My goodness, you need to get washed up. You look like a mess. It's been a
Might have blown up.
You blew up?
Might have, yes.
Well, it's amazing how quickly you got put back together.
It's fine. I've been hit harder.
She kind of smiles and
It was a minor blowing up.
looks at both of you. Looks at Ebony and you guys did good. Just make sure you keep those spells under wraps. Only use them when you need to.
Of course.
What spells?
She just looks at you and smiles and gives you a wink. And then walks away, Jasper. And then with Widows and Ellie, they kind of and just teleport away with these blue rings as they shine out from the moonlight below and leave you four out there on the grounds.
So,
When
Ink,
they are gone.
does this mean I get an
Sigh
A
of
on my
relief.
final? Does this mean I get an A on my final exam?
Also, me?
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Sweet. I go for a high five.
Yep.
Ebony.
Oh,
Extracurricular is
don't
actually
like
not
when
that
they're
bad.
around.
What about the lady though? I saw how you were looking at her.
What?
I believe they call that
No.
emotion terror. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's history. Yeah. Yeah. From
What do you want me to do with this?
I suppose we should.
Hey, wait a
Destroy
minute.
the
There's
card?
a second one of those amulets in that.
Yep, there is.
I thought you guys wanted to study it.
What do you think would happen if I put on a Halifax amulet? Would I become double Halifax?
One way to find out.
Well, no, because I'm pretty sure it was
Well,
mind controlling Ellie, so I'm not going to put it on. That would be reckless,
True.
beyond all reasoning.
Halifax squared.
No.
Yeah, that's right. I'll become exponentially more Australian.
Oh
How
no.
weird would it be if you do like you get caught being like mischief as you, and then it's like the Scooby Doo thing. They go take off your mask, and it's just another one of
It's
you.
just it's another Halifax.
Wait, what?
So if you
yeah.
guys are cool with it, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fast forward to a little bit of time ahead. This scene kind of fades as you guys are standing there, and Ebony, you're at your room, and you hear a knock.
Oh, right on time. I open the door.
And standing before you is Simon Kettles.
There you are. I have one more final mission for you.
Okay.
At lunch tomorrow, in front of the entire school in the Great Hall, I want you to go up to Professor Halifax at the table, and I want you to boom your voice and apologize profusely for harming him and his image. Think you could do that for me? And I cast Charm.
Okay. Go ahead.
Dirty 20.
I rolled a 7. so if there's anything narratively you want to add, you can. But it seems like he's probably going to try to cast some sort of thaumaturgy on himself to make this apology heard rounds the school.
Make sure it's heartfelt, okay? You really owe him an apology.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
And Simon,
Yeah?
you ever cross me or my teachers again, this is the least of your worries.
He looks shocked and stunned at everything that's happened over the last day and begins to just turn away from you, shrugging, and just walks off into the distance.
I shut the door and say, I hate props, and go back to bed.
And as Ebony crawls into bed, our screen goes black. And that's where we're going to end this episode and this story arc for Kids on Brooms. Well done, everybody. Well
Hooray!
done.
Hey!
Yeah.
So good.
Great job. Great job.